Welcome to the 2019 Premier League. In its fourth season now, this competition has been important in establishing young talent in the New South Wales state and feeding into the NSU and Canberra A&L and SN teams. I'm Brittany Carter and personally very excited to be here at the Genea Netball Centre, again bringing you the live call of the Under-23s opening match here on Bar TV. Joining us in the expert chair tonight for the Central Coast Heart and Manly Warringah Sapphires is former English Rose Sonia McClamer. Welcome, Sonia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You've coached in this league before, but this will be the first time you're courtside with the microphone on.
I know, I don't know how it's going to go. I might start coaching.
We won't mind that here. So we better run through the teams as we're waiting for the umpires to take out the centre pass. Jessica Clay and Kylie Mulclair with the whistle tonight. So for the Sapphires, they line up goal shooter Hayley Bidoff, goal attack Caitlin Stansfield, wing attack Audrey Little, Chelsea Mann in centre, Gemma Donoghue in wing defence, Caitlin Brady goal defence, and Charlie Fiddler in goalkeeper. Now the Central Coast Heart, they line up Georgia Ray goal shooter, Bella DeVivo with her in goal attack, Danny Taylor and wing attack, Erin Kessler in centre, Miller Evans wing defence, Eliza Hand goal defence, and Brooklyn O'Mara rounds out the team in keeper. Their coaches Megan Sharp and G McCrowdy. And for the Sapphires, coach Virginia Welsh. So we see Central Coast score first, Sonia. They're looking good early.
Yeah, they're very patient and control with the ball, which is good, and good lead up into the circle.
Finding front space. Bidoff with her first shot of the night, 100% already.
Yeah, and great movement from her inside the circle.
DeViva, oh, great vision, straight into Georgia Ray.
And a good strong pass coming in.
Those two really started to build a partnership last season, and it's clear that that's built over the off-season too. They're stuck in the midcourt here, the Sapphires. Pushing out is Bidoff. Swinging the circle, and Stansfield finds the ball. Little way out. No problem with the shot though, yeah. Sonia.
I know, good shot. And, you know, the Sapphires build-up was great movement inside the circle and on the circle edge from the attackers.
Oh, going to get knocked out with the ball here. Comes sailing over the sideline, and a chance for Manly. They could go back-to-back here. Donoghue, long ball into Stansfield.
A good give and go coming in from Little.
Yeah, they're definitely having to work to get inside the circle. Bidoff finds front space this time, coming through the two defenders, and now she's front and through the net.
Yeah, and it's Manly's centre pass. Good patience and control with the ball and movement from the attack end.
So after the Heart scored first, the Sapphires have now hit the front by one goal.
Yeah.
And they could go two up here, 4-2.
The Heart defensive players just getting caught behind the body of Bidoff, and she's such a tall shooter that it's important for them to try and get round to that front space. So she's a better contest on the ball.
So what we've seen from Manly Warringah so far is consistency and also perseverance. So we saw a lot of short, sharp passes, and it took them some time to get into the circle, but once they're there, they seem to be able to do the job. Ooh. Central Coast missed their first shot.
And that was a good rebound from Charlie Fiddler. Good girl. And good attacking play out of court.
First missed attempt. Sapphires moving into the midcourt. Little coming back to Donoghue. He's moved over from North Shore United. How's the vision at the back?
What a good ball in.
Where did the defenders go? We'll have to see a replay of that. Around the body. Manly on the outside edge of the court. Little in the pocket. Again, Bidoff. Able to find backspace on her own.
The Central Heart defenders are doing a lot of talking, so they're going to have to keep their movement and keep their vision open to each other. They're just missing those rotations a little bit.
Danny Taylor to Ray. Nice
good
hands
rejection.
over. You're a defensive coach.
Yes.
Something you like to see?
Yeah, definitely. When a defender can smother the pass and get ball before it gets in the circle is always a good job, and that's created a good interception for Caitlin Brody as well at the back end. So they're doing a good job, the Manly defenders.
Evans into Taylor, now DeVivo looking to get it to her shooting partner. And Ray
Good shooter to shoot a pass. Oh, good rebound again from Fiddler. And
Central.
good outlet pass. Contested by Kessler.
Bit of a battle for the ball there.
Yeah.
And again,
Another smother of the pass for Manly, which is good. Something they must possibly be working on in the pre-season.
Manly lucky because that feed was a little bit off. But Bidoff is calm enough to get the job done. Got some cold fans here tonight. She's already got the scarf on, Sonia. You've got your gloves on. It does
I've
get
got
very
my gloves
cold
on,
here.
yeah, I can feel it. Good
Little.
pass. Good defensive pressure there. Making them work for it. And good feet coming around.
They try to go low, but Eliza Hand has other ideas.
That was good defensive movement from Eliza.
Oh, I think there was a little bit of acting there just to get the penalty too. You've got to be good as a defender, because it usually goes the other way. Taylor comes back to Hand.
It's good pressure hands by Manly, slowing them up.
Yeah.
Oh, good vision. And that's Danny Taylor. Good feed into the shooter.
So Georgia Ray makes it 3 for the Heart. The lead's really crept out for the Sapphires here, 7-3. And you remember right at the start of this match, in the first opening minutes, it was Central Coast to score first.
Ooh, good wall defense by the Manly Sapphires back end.
Up and over, a little high, but DeVivo's got long enough arms to grab it. And she'll slot it through. Oh, she misses. So they've missed a couple from close. They do get another opportunity here. But the Heart shooters seem to be a little bit nervous, Sonia.
Yeah, I know, settling. Well, the pressure that's been built from the Sapphires mid-court defence is putting them under a bit of hesitation and slowing their quick entry into the circle. Oh, good movement from Bidoff along the baseline. Good stretch.
Sapphires push to 8. They've doubled the Heart score. Taylor, long ball to DeVivo, edge of the circle, just
Good
tops
jump.
it up.
Fiddler just getting caught on the back of the body, which causes contact.
So does she need to be front space
Yeah,
for
she's just
Georgia
need to move
Ray?
her feet a little bit like what she's doing now, and then she gets the smother on the shot and rejection. Good girls.
Nice little triangle, but it comes off Georgia Ray's foot. There's a foot race on, and the ball does go over the side of the court, and Manly will get a throw in. Donahue looking over the top of her players to try and find another Sapphire to pass to. Stansfield coming out, has to go across the transverse line. Donahue, strong pass, and then a little give and go from Little. She can't back up with the pass
Good
back.
vision.
In the pocket now. A penalty goes Sapphire's way inside the circle, and it'll be Stansfield to take it.
Good finish. And it's Sapphire's centre pass again, and they go 9-4 up.
A chance to reach 10 here too. Go back to back.
The
Bit
Heart,
off, again able to find back space.
the Heart defensive players are getting caught chasing a little bit, so they're not actually stopping and denying the space of the Sapphires attackers to slow them down. So they're going to definitely have to readjust and have a look at that, and the coach is going to have to speak to them, I guess, in the quarter time to see if they can slow down this attack end.
Is it a
from the
confidence
Sapphires.
thing, or you just think you're in the moment and you're missing what's happening?
Yeah, and you're getting, I think it could be that and settling in, but also just chasing a little bit. So Sapphire's attack end's able to move where they want to go, so they need to slow them down slightly. See the way they come at this in the pass. That's good defensive pressure from Kessler. Good block in and good pressure she put on her.
Her sister was MVP of the first Premier League season in 2016.
Yeah, and we picked her up for A&L New South Wales Warringahs this year. She's been out for injury for the first 5 rounds, unfortunately, but she's been working hard to get back. But she's a great talent.
Was one of the Central Coast Open side that won the title last year, and I think it was a really big deal up there. It made TV, it was in the papers, and they've seen a couple of sponsorship deals and some deals with local council as a result.
Yeah, right.
So Premier League is having an impact, especially when it comes to feeding into A&L and Super Netball teams, as we mentioned at the start of the broadcast.
Which is always good. So the Sapphires' defensive pressure, I think what's putting the Heart under a lot of pressure of seeing the ball is the height of their wing defence and centres of the Sapphires. They've got really tall, so Donohue's really got really long arms and the height, and I guess against Taylor she can't see over the arms. Great entry.
Stansfield with another. Sapphires hit 12, so again they've doubled the Heart score, 12-6 with 5.5 to play in the first quarter. The opening quarter of Premier League in 2019. It's so good to have Premier League back.
Another interception and tip by Fiddler from great defensive pressure from the outside from Donohue and Mann. And they're bringing the ball down beautifully.
The ball speed is really quick at the moment, and Central Coast, as you mentioned, are on the back end of it.
Yeah. Good rebound.
O'Mara, nice work. Eyes for the ball. Oh, a little fake from Kessler. Same with Hand. They've been practicing those at training. Taylor to Kessler as they move up the court. DeVivo tries to find Taylor. There's some nice work from Donohue, sees the ball outside.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that their defenders are actually contesting the ball, they're actually getting tips on it, and as they keep tipping the ball, the pressure builds for Central Heart.
We're seeing the subs for Central Coast just go for a little run up the stairs, try and keep warm. Ray has been able to get the job done for Central Coast so far. We haven't seen a lot of shooting from DeVivo. She's happy to offload.
Yeah, but their shooters are getting comfortably under the post, which is really good. Just need to put these shots away.
Coming through, little colliding with Kessler. And now on the edge. Oh, that's the wrong player.
Good pickup from the wing defence.
Evans, long pass to Taylor. They go cross court, diagonally. They come back, pushing forward. Hands looking for an option, finds Taylor. Again, they're stuck on that transverse line. In the pocket now, Kessler trying to give it to DeVivo, but the run is over timed.
Good pressure, the height from the defenders of the Sapphires and the handover pressure, and the defenders are just keeping them up and off the circle edge.
Was that an offside call, Sonia? Or held?
No, it was a held ball.
Held, right. Donohue to Little.
So Heart are up in the defensive pressure. You can see they keep trying to keep them off the circle edge. And we just need the defender, O'Hara, just to contest that ball that's going up. Just move her feet a bit further back.
What we've also seen from Bidoff is a real smarts about the way she finds backspace. She seems to be using her arm a little bit to get away from her defender, but it's not being picked up at the moment, and it's working for her, so you wouldn't stop that, would you?
And I think what's good for her is also her timing's really good. So the timing in which she does the move is spot on. So the umpire's probably still on her way around and missing a few of the push-offs.
So to be this young and anticipating play like that and reading the game so well is a really good sign. Yeah,
definitely. And I think some of the younger players struggle with that a lot. So the fact that she's doing that, especially at the back end as a shooter, which is opening up the defence, is really good. Another miss and a rebound by Ray. Oh, good fake by Kessler. Something her sister does really well.
I was going to say, I wonder if those two practice those at home.
Yeah, no, it was a Kessler fake. She actually runs like her as well.
Gemma Donohue has certainly been a star on court so far for me. Some of her long passes and the vision that she's had to feed into the circle has been phenomenal.
And also a backup on the line, like she's getting there.
Coming out, Stansfield now looks to find Bidoff, but the Central Coast Heart are doing really well in defence.
Oh, that was unlucky. I thought Kessler got a tip to that, so she'll have to work back on defence again for her team.
Stansfield goes low, finds Bidoff, and she finds the net. Sapphires push to 14. We've got just under 2 minutes of play in this first quarter, up by 7.
This is a good entry by the Sapphires. Good vision and placement of the ball. Good pop through by Bidoff and good shot to finish it off.
Kessler with the pass for the centre, Central Coast. Hand, no look pass to Kessler.
Yeah, the Central Coast are hanging out a bit on this little box that the Sapphires are putting up, and great hands pressure, so they reset and go back. Good patience though. Good pass by Kessler. Good triangle into the Vivo.
So I've just looked up my notes on Hayley Bidoff because I was thinking she has to be in some sort of representative team. So New South Wales talent squad last 2 years, made it to the final phase for under 17s this year, but didn't quite get through, and has had a couple of games in the Opens and held really well. And I think that shows. She looks really experienced.
She does look experienced, and she seems very confident out there. I wonder how old she is.
That's a good question. She's a returning player. She's been with Manly Warringah before.
So we'll watch the defensive pressure that Manly put on. Keeping the mark, forcing the heart off the top of the circle. Oh, great ball into Ray.
There was a little tip from Fiddler, but she was unlucky. And with 10 seconds left, Central Coast are really trying to rush this centre pass. Long.
Good tip.
Out of the hands from Mann. Is a throw in.
Will they have enough time? No, they won't.
So 15-9, the Sapphires up by 6 at quarter time. We've been talking about A&L a little bit, Sonia. Your role with the Waratahs sees you see a lot of that competition. What do you think of it so far?
Yeah, so far it's been good. The Waratahs have gone off to a good start. I think we're sitting third on the table at the moment. And we're just coming off the back of a 1 win and a loss against the Victorian Fury, which is good, who actually currently sitting top of the table. So for us to get one up on them was very good, and they had a lot of drop backs, because obviously with the A&L, some of the games, the SSM players who don't get on the court get to drop back for the A&L game, which follows. So the Melbourne Vixens dropped back 3 of their mid-court defence and shooting players.
I was going to say to you, the Victorian Fury and Tasmanian Magpies have seemed to be the ones to beat the last 2 seasons. They've been really strong. Is that the reason, because those girls are dropping in and out all the time?
No, I think it's because Victoria has a really good system with their VNL, with their netball leagues below this level. So they've got a lot of girls coming through their netball systems, and they're developing a bunch of girls. And I think that's what's happening in New South Wales, is that development's growing. And I think having the under-23s right now is opening it up. So some of the younger girls that will sit in the middle between under-20s and the seniors who don't quite make the seniors now have this opportunity to play and also develop their skills for a bit longer.
So you're also involved as a defensive coach with the New South Wales Swifts.
Yeah.
And Kate Eddy, I believe, is someone that's come from the Victorian Fury.
Yeah, she has, and it's interesting because when you watch her play, she plays a bit Victorian in her style.
What do you mean by that?
Well, no, it's just the dogged play, the contesting, the body on, that hard work and that kind of grit work. And it's interesting because also for us, we've got Elle Bennett, who also comes from the Fury team. So I remember when we played against them 2 years ago, Elle Bennett was part of their mid-court, was causing us problems. So I think once she moved to New South Wales to play for Giants for AFL, it was great to get her on board with us.
That's brilliant. And so the Waratahs and the Canberra Giants are both playing at the Janae Netball Centre this weekend for round 5. So the Waratahs will play the Tassie Magpies at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and then the Canberra game will follow at... that's earlier at 11 a.m. So there is a bit of a gap between those two. And then on Sunday, we see Giants again playing at 6 p.m. against the Southern Force. And I believe Waratahs are also playing that day too. So come down to the Janae Netball Centre. Some great netball on display in that competition.
Yeah, definitely. And especially these girls who are playing Premier League and who are looking to elevate into these teams, it is so important that they come down and watch. It's free entry. So to come and watch good quality netball, and I guess on the Sunday to see, before you kind of go across and watch the SSN, you come and watch some A&L and get some tips.
Idea.
Yeah,
that's definitely something that...
4 for the price of 2.
Well, definitely. And I mean, if you're playing netball on Saturday, you've got Sunday free. So why not fill it with more netball? Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to take a little break here while we wait for the second quarter. It won't be long, but we'll be back with you shortly.
see.
Heading out for the second quarter. The Sapphires lead by 6, and we're straight into it. Manly Warringah with the first centre.
Oh, so defensive change for the Central Coast Heart.
In goalkeeper, they've got Nikita Jackson, who's come on. I was surprised she didn't start, but she is playing a lot of netball at the moment, so maybe it was a combinations thing, or maybe they just wanted to rest her. Stansfield with the first shot of the second quarter, and she's been accurate all night. I don't remember her missing a shot so far.
No, I haven't seen her miss either. But they definitely worked a bit harder to get that ball through.
That might be the only change for the Heart. Meanwhile, Sapphires also... Look, oh, no, they've got a new goal defence on. Is that right? Caitlin Brady, no, that's who was on there before.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same defender. There's no changes for them at the moment.
No changes for Sapphires. 1 for Central Coast. DeVivo.
And that was a good shuffle from DeVivo. Pity she was unable to slot the shot in. So let's see what the Heart do defensively now on the through court defence.
Donahue, again with those long passes.
Yeah.
Up and over. Oh, she mixes up the hands, but she recollects the ball. Saves possession, however, has just thrown it over the sideline.
Yeah, that was definitely a tall girl pass from Donahue. And I think that's unfortunate because there wasn't much pressure from the Heart through that mid-court, which is something that they're definitely going to have to tighten up on as the game progresses.
Kessler forced to go back. O'Mara, oh, great pass, strong to Evans.
And good pressure from Little as a wing attack. It's good to see the wing attack and goal attack putting that defensive pressure on the through court.
So a bit of a give and go between Ray and Taylor, but it's ended up with DeVivo.
Yeah, good mismatch.
And she's able to sink this one. So battling a little bit of confidence and accuracy in the first 2 quarters, but now starting to find a groove.
So the Central Crows are setting up a sort of box defence here. The only difference is they just need to get their hands up and put more pressure on as opposed to letting Manly just slowly make their way to the top of the circle. It's a good idea to change it up. I just think they need to put more hands pressure so that the attacking end can't actually see where they're throwing it.
Have they been employing that a lot tonight, or was that just a one-off?
No, they just brought it on, and I think that might be with the introduction to Nikita Jackson.
So you think she's made the call there? Oh, flying through the air. Caitlin Brady with a great intercept for Sapphires.
So they're bringing the ball through the court too easily, so the Central Coast will definitely have to up that pressure through that mid-court.
Oh.
But good pressure to push her out of court. Unlucky on the call. Good shot.
Lovely accuracy.
Yeah, so they need to put more pressure on this shot. Stansfield's definitely the shortest person in the circle at the moment.
Not troubling her though,
no,
is it?
It's not. Good ball movement.
Bouncing to Little. Nikita Jackson, she's
well
the ball winner.
Unlucky, she's just gone offside. Oh.
There might have been a contact
maybe
call.
She was pushed offside.
On the edge now, Taylor looking to feed, not comfortable with DeVivo, so they try a triangle instead. This time, DeVivo finds front space. She's a little way out. Misses the shot. Ray, the ball sails over her head.
Yeah, DeVivo is struggling with those long shots slightly, so I think Ray needs to actually be an option for her, so actually look at the ball and look at her, other attacking player.
She is just waiting for that shot to be put up at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah, but I think the offload, the shoot passes should be on, so another miss from Stanfield, I think.
Goal attack. Kessler to Taylor, finding DeVivo. Can Central Coast get the job done this time? Ball out of the hands.
Yeah, I think Kessler slowed down on the take a little bit, so just remembering she needs to just put a change of pace as she accelerates onto the ball. Good hands over pressure, though, from the centre.
Sapphires were doubling up, and it's come off.
Yeah, good touches from Fiddler. She's been doing that consistently throughout the game.
Edge of the ball. Oh, wow. Able to keep it in play. Not so. What's being called here? We do need our umpire line in at some point, and it's a penalty for Manly.
Good hands over by Jackson, but it's not stopping the shooters from getting that in.
19-10, 9 the difference. We almost reached 10 minutes till half-time. Running out is Ray.
So the movement's still coming from Central Coast, which is important, and the ball is staying alive. Just limited options there.
Gemma Donahue, wonderful intercept. Here comes an opportunity for Manly. They try to do the double, but Nikita Jackson too strong, and Stansfield ends up with it in front, and her accuracy is not going to keep her off the board.
Yeah, Nikita's trying to jump the shot now, so a bit of variety in what she's trying to do defensively. Good hands pressure from O'Hara.
In the pocket, Mann finds Stansfield with a little jump, hop and skip into the circle. Misses the shot. Jackson bobbles it, and it comes over for Manly with a throw-in. Oh no, Central Coast, they'll take it back. Oh.
That's good defensive pressure from Sapphires, which nearly forces an error to Central Coast. Ooh.
Change of angle from Kessler. At the top of the circle, Taylor will have it. Still not a great option either way. DeVivo does find side space.
Yeah, I think Taylor's struggling to see over the arms of Donahue and Mann. So electing to not give the high ball in.
As a shorter player in the midcourt, how do you counteract someone when you come up against them and they're really tall?
She's definitely going to use the space and use her step around passes or step back to see the vision.
So footwork.
Yeah, and maybe do a reset if possible.
Are they your Waratahs at the back of the court? Yeah, Abby McCulloch.
Oh, yeah, and Kristen Kessler's there. Hopefully she'll come and watch her sister play some netball in a bit. And Tay Fraze.
From Premier League herself.
Yeah. So this is better defensive pressure by Central Heart.
And Mara's
hit
the deck.
From Mara, and good pressure there.
Oh.
That was great movement from Bidoff and great pass into her from, is it Audrey Little? Great, good, quick play.
So things are really starting to heat up in that Sapphires shooting circle in the third that they're currently in.
So Nikita and her have dropped back on a double on the smallest player, so I reckon they should have stayed out a bit longer and put more pressure on Bidoff coming her entry back into the circle now that she's starting to move. So their shooters are definitely having to move and reset their movement. Great pass by Mann and good vision.
22-11. Again, that score is doubled. 7.5 left till half time. Sapphires comfortably in front. Central Coast with the opportunity here to get one back. Up and over.
Yeah, the ball's getting lifted, and the problem there is, I guess, because the Sapphire defences have got great elevation. So I think the Central Coast Heart need to play one more ball around before they get it into the circle, try and get a flat ball in.
Fiddler, Donahue, Mann. As they push up. Now stuck in the midcourt. Donahue throws a bit of a Hail Mary, and it ends up with Brooklyn O'Mara.
Yeah, great defensive pressure from Central Coast. Let's see if they can get the ball out cleanly.
Taylor keeps it in play miraculously. Coming through, nice drive from Taylor, but
good drive out by Ray, just the placement of that pass.
On the edge, DeVivo waiting, finds front space. The defender drops behind, and she finds the net too. So 22-12, Sapphires lead the Heart. Little mistake from Stansfield, but Omar running into her gives the ball away.
Good pass out from Donahue.
Little, bit off outside the circle, uses the top with Mann, and she finds Stansfield. Nice triangle action happening there.
Yeah, they're moving the ball very nice on the edge. I think the Central Heart defenders are dropping in too deep into the post. I think they're so rangy they can actually sit a bit higher and force Stanfield and Bidoff to come out the circle.
DeVivo, a fair way out, attempts the shot. It's all Sapphires under the post though.
Yeah, good rebound. And their defenders have been consistent with their rebound and pressure on the shot, which is really good.
Oh, that was lucky for the Sapphires. Taylor was coming through and had eyes for the ball. Just skimmed it with her hands. Donahue now looking for Stansfield. Coming back, they reset for the goal third. On the edge now, they're coming round.
So
persevering here.
Yeah, the defensive pressure is making Sapphire work. The Central Heart just need to go for this ball, go for these short passes. As soon as she gets a hand, great interception by Nikita. Unlucky foot out of court.
Ooh, two Central Coast players colliding. Eyes for the ball. So Nikita Jackson, the player we keep mentioning in that goal-keeping bib, is a New South Wales under-19 representative this year. They came away with silver at the Nationals, and so did the under-17s.
Yeah, they played really well, both lost to South Australia, which was a pity, but both teams making finals, which I think is important, especially off the back of where they finished the previous years. Oh, great interception by O'Hara. Unlucky she couldn't get the outlet off, and could get a second one in. No.
Now, Central Coast haven't ended up with the ball, but what was impressive about that intercept, Sonia, was that she was running backwards. Her eyes weren't even facing the ball.
And it was the timing of it. She read the play very well. She saw that her keeper was out of the circle and came in as a GG, and that's something you've definitely got to look to do.
So a bit of cheering up on the other courts, trying to work out which one it's come from. 3 games currently in action.
Great ball movement.
Quick work with Little. A great understanding between those two, and also with Bidoff, who finds the ball at the baseline.
She was squeezing that baseline, but that was a good, well-placed ball. So Hart at the moment are allowing the Sapphires too much room off the centre pass and dropping back, but there's no pressure to actually contest the ball. All hands have pressure to obstruct the pass anyway, so they're going to have to definitely step up and push forward on that. Nearly a step. Good pressure from Donahue and tied it up by Fiddler.
Collision between Kessler and Fiddler as the ball comes over the side of the court. Now Kessler stuck for an option. Has to come to the transverse line. Taylor again stuck. It's a bit stagnant here, and that's from some good defensive pressure from the Sapphires.
Oh,
nice
good
feed.
triangle.
So what we saw different in that play was quick ball movement.
Yeah, and that's worked because it's just keeping the Sapphire defence on the back foot a little bit and not giving them enough time to set up. So something that Hart probably need to keep doing.
So the hesitation is maybe
that
what's
was good
holding
defensive
back.
pressure from Evans off the centre pass, which causes a possession gain.
Over the top, she finds Danny Taylor. And again, similar pass to Kessler. Up and over, Ray.
And great passing by Kessler, well seen the space. Just placed on the other side of the goalkeeper, so good smart passing.
The difference with the timing in that one was, as I said, the timing, because Fiddler and Ray are both very tall.
Yeah.
And when they both got their arms up, it's really anyone's ball. So the timing is what's going to get Central Coast in there at the end.
Yeah, and they're putting a little fakes in because Fiddler and goal defence are jumping very early. Brody are jumping really early for the ball. So Hart are starting to put little fakes in, which is causing the defender to jump up and then passing around them. So they're using their speed and of the ball a bit better now.
You can see Laura Moore's just pop out in her red and blue top.
Yeah, great feed in. So Laura Moore, this is their Central Coast Hart teammates. So I guess she'll be here to watch and support them as they play the next round in the Opens.
Yes, the Opens are at 8:40 against the Sapphires. If you're hanging out for that match. Little, looking over the mess, finds man on the other side of the circle.
Great pressure and switches from Nikita and O'Hara in the circle.
And Stansfield nails it. Her accuracy has been a highlight tonight. 28-15 with 1:20 to play before half-time. Do you think Central Coast will make a couple of changes?
Yeah, I think they need to. I think their midcourt's getting a bit stagnant in their movement and their drives, especially in coming out of defence. So I think they need to change it up a little bit and get some speed injected.
1-2 between Kessler and Ray. Sinks the shot. Hart come back with one. 28-16.
So let's see the defensive pressure from Central Coast. Good long ball swing to the top. Oh, great interception, but wasted again by her. She just needs to settle. She's got a few interceptions in this quarter, but she's actually wasting the ball by not landing and controlling the pass out. And finished off by Stanfield.
30 seconds before half-time. A chance to score here as the ball sails over the back line. On the side, rather. Central Coast with the throw-in.
So 40 seconds, plenty of time. Let's see if Ray can put this goal away. Well done. 2 seconds.
Holding time as the centre is taken. 12 the difference. Just holding onto the ball long enough before for it not to be a held pass, but also for half time to happen. So half fives all around here at the Janaea Netball Centre, where the Sapphires lead the Heart by 12 points, 29-17. Sonia, who's been your standout so far?
I'd definitely say with the Sapphires, their defence end, I think Fiddler's doing a great job. She's got loads of interceptions and turnovers for the team, and I think that pressure's come from Chelsea Mann and Gemma Donoghue out the back, out in front of them defensively. I think the hands over pressure, the smothering of the shot, and their movement has been really good defensively, and they're actually working as a unit. And so definitely good, well-drilled defensive end.
And what about Central Coast? We've seen them, as you mentioned, come up with a couple of opportunities through intercept or really good hands and coming out and hunting the ball, and then they're throwing it away, just not holding that nerve to convert it and move it on.
Yeah, I think the combination of Nikita Jackson and O'Hara Brooklyn being moved out to go defence is a much better combination defensively, and I think they're causing a bit more confusion, and the Manly attackers are having to work a lot more, do an extra pass to get the ball into the circle. O'Hara just needs to balance a bit more and steady on the outlet passes. She's getting turnovers. But the midcourt, I think, need more hand pressure and need to step up and push and go for these interceptions.
Now we have got a little image for you. Little story on the Manly Sapphires trip. So during the off-season, leading up to the start of Premier League, Virginia Welsh took her under-23 side down to Canberra for a 3-day camp at the AIS, and it was a bit of a bonding experience. Specialist coach Jill McIntosh, who is Jin's mentor, was there, and she was giving them a bit of guidance, and they also played against Belconnen while they were down there. Some girls from Canberra are in the Manly Sapphires side, and she said it just gave the New South Wales girls a chance to see what those Canberra girls go through, because they're travelling up twice a week, once for training and then once for the games too. And then while they were down there, they went to the dawn service at the War Memorial. So they were up at 3:30 in the morning, but once they got there, no one complained. Apparently it was very haunting and a memory and experience they won't forget yet. So it's a good story to come out of the Sapphires camp. What are you thinking about these two sides at the moment, Sonia? We're right next to the camps this time. We can have a good look at what the coaches are saying.
Yeah, and we can also have a see if they're making any changes. So Jill McIntosh is out there talking to the midcourt for the Manly Sapphires, which is interesting because she's got a wealth of experience. So any feedback or information that she's given them will be treasured and hopefully implemented onto the court.
You can see for Central Coast too that they're actually filming the halftime chat with the coach.
Oh yeah, they are.
Isn't it?
Yeah, the Central Coast, I think, yeah, they've got a lot of work to do to catch up, and this is something that can be done. Like I said, I think what was working for them definitely was that ball movement as they advanced onto the top of the circle. So as long as they keep doing that, using their fakes, they can keep committing the defenders onto interceptions and getting caught out of play.
So you can see their coach, Jim McCrowdy, who had the glasses on, giving them some tips, and their other coach, Megan Sharp, unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. She's very sick. Amber Cross with the ponytail, the dark hair, is the opens coach, and she's sort of helping out there tonight with one coach down. Camera on Lauren Moore Cam. And we mentioned her. You've just picked up on it.
The Moore Camp, I'll look out for that one.
Moore Cam, yep. And there's Alicia Walsh, who is in her Opens Central Coast side. So they'll be on the show court here at 8:40, again up against the Sapphires. And we mentioned earlier in the coverage that the Central Coast Heart won the title in the Opens last year, so really looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the Janaea Netball Centre tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Didn't Manly win it the previous year?
Yes, you're right. That's right.
Also, it might be a good game.
Got a good memory, Sonia. I had to double think that then. So a little bit longer here as the coaches make some changes, and we might just take a quick break while we wait for the players to come back out on court. Sorry. Jessie Ellen.
So Hart have brought on a new wing defence, Standen.
Jessie Ellen Standen's come on.
Let's see if she makes a difference to the game. A miss from Stanfield. It's an early miss in the game. Great defensive pressure over the shot.
We've also seen Miller Evans push into centre and Erin Kessler move into wing attack.
The Sapphires have brought on Kelly Singleton's younger sister into wing defence, Georgia.
Gee, so many changes. We'll get you up to speed shortly. And it looks like there's also been a change for goal shooter for the Heart. Evans to Kessler, long pass into DeVivo.
Oh, misconnect, but it's good to see DeVivo looking in. So they've got Asquith on.
Erin Asquith has come on in goal shooter. Little tip from DeVivo sees the ball back in the hands of Central Coast.
So with all these changes, you see both teams are trying to settle. So there's been a lot of turnover and up and back with the court. So we'll see which team can break it and put the goal away.
Nervous energy coming back from half-time. Central Coast on the transverse line. Push in with DeVivo. In the pocket, they find Evans. Call goes Central Coast's way. And now Asquith. A chance at shot. She'll get another one.
That's Asquith. First goal of the first half. Second half.
Oh.
Interception by O'Hara.
Brooklyn O'Mara copping the ball to her face. Bit of a falcon there. We've seen heaps of those in the Giants camp recently on the court for Super
I know,
Netball.
it's so funny. Great interception and tip from Fiddler. Good girl.
DeViva with the throw in. Our call goes against Sapphires on court, so they move up to the edge of the circle. Kessler with it now, looking to feed. Fiddler gets caught. And the ball goes around the ring before popping through. 29-19. The difference now 10. Sapphires needing to come back here because Central Coast has swung the momentum coming back from half-time.
Yeah, and the Central Coast defence back for keeping a bit higher and forcing them off the circle for a bit longer, so they have to work a bit harder to get the ball in. They need to cover that middle channel.
Central Coast centre. Kessler uses her body quite well in that mid-court space.
Yeah, she does, and she slips through, and it's something her sister does as well, so it's quite interesting watching them both play because they're quite similar in their movement, even the way they run.
Donahue, pass over the top. O'Mara coming through.
And gets offside. Donahue's holding on to the ball, something that she wasn't doing in the first half, so obviously the pressure being put on now that Central Coast is having their defence and think twice about these feeds.
Oh.
And another interception for O'Mara.
Intercept queen, Brooklyn O'Mara. Now let's make it sure that they convert it. That's been the difference so far.
Good drive out by O'Mara to push to draw the defenders.
Evans just waiting for an option, and it's a held ball. Nice defensive pressure from the Sapphires.
Yeah, that was good defensive pressure.
Singleton, long pass to Little. In the goal third now. Bidoff bouncing, using the
good
edge.
Good defence by Nikita Jackson and trying to keep Bidoff out the circle. Shot by Stansfield. Goes in. She is not phased. She went back on 1 foot and got that one in.
Confident, I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Chased up by Bidoff. New double play.
Stronghold from Jackson, but Stansfield isn't phased.
Yeah, and I think because Stansfield is such a threat, the defenders cannot afford to just drop back on Bidoff. They're going to have to stay that one-on-one and cause that pressure. Good turnover.
A bat on the ball from Man sees Manly come up with the ball, and now it sails over the sideline. So this is happening for both sides now. They're both a little bit rattled.
Yeah, I think Central Coast Heart are putting a lot more pressure on the defensive ball coming out from Sapphires, and I think now the Sapphires defenders actually throwing a bit more ball and looking more lateral than forward, which is what they were doing previously.
You
Good
can
hands
see
pressure.
Oh,
Lucky.
nice. Bit off on our own at the back. No competition for the net. So you can see when we move back to our... Evans just copped a ball to the back of the head waiting for the centre pass. The crowd's filtered in a little bit, so nice to see it building as we...
So better defensive pressure from Kessler at the wing attack position. Big hands. And coming around from Nikita, I think she needs to come around a little bit earlier, and she probably would have taken that intercept cleanly. Yeah, a bit of push and shove by Amara at the back there.
No worries for Bidoff. 34-19. Sapphires starting to get comfortable again coming back from the halftime break. DeViva moves back and then they push in side the goal third.
Good movement from Kessler to open up the space again and just sneaks in these little pockets to get to the top of the circle, and good feed in to Asquith.
She's in front. She nails it straight through the hoop. 34-20, the difference is 14. Defensive pressure has definitely upped inside that circle.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what's happening now is Bidoff is starting to use the pop through the top of the circle. So Jackson's going to have to stop that and slow it down, or at least contest and go for it.
Double up sees Jackson get a tip. There's a race for the ball, and it goes Central Coast way. Stansfield out of play. Here's an opportunity. Evans, she's smothered by Mann. Manly Warringah far too good with their defence.
Yeah, long arms. Stanston has had a great impact, and I think she's putting Little on a lot of pressure, so Little's having to work harder in the wing attack position to get the ball. So I think Jessie Ellen Stander coming on has been a good change for Central Coast Heart.
Bit of frustration coming out in Central Coast defence. So we see Stansfield just waiting for O'Mara. You think she was unlucky with that call, Sonia?
No, her second jump was short, but it's good to see the defenders getting up and trying to tip and reject shots.
Kessler runs straight out for that centre pass. DeVivo, 1 foot inside the goal third. Long ball over the top, and it pays off. Asquith waiting. Long arms pulls it in and puts it through the net.
Great finish by Asquith. Fiddler got caught watching for a little bit. Wasn't expecting that pass to come in.
A nice display of what Central Coast are capable of.
Well to come through by Nikita Jackson. Well read, wastes the ball, unlucky. So the defenders are getting turnover. They're just throwing ball back into hands of the Sapphires. And especially with that combination of Bidoff and Little with the quick 1-2s that they're doing.
Now this is definitely going to be the wrong term, but I want to say it's like second phase defence or interception. So they're getting that first intercept or little tip, but unable to then have someone there to back it up.
Yeah, they're unable to control it and get the balance and have that back off and kind of like throw this ball over the head, which I see a lot of defenders doing. So they just need to control it a little bit longer and have a sight to see their players for the outlet.
Is it up to the other defenders to then be ready for the ball as well?
Yeah, it's a bit of both, but you can't be ready for a ball that you don't know where it's going to go. So it's that bit of the control and the interception. So a bit of her movement is very good in that circle in Sapphire. So that rotating circle, Bidoff wasn't used the first time. She's quite good to drop back and create space for Stansfield. So the defence have to work double time.
So for Hayley Bidoff, that's something they've really been working on at the moment, mixing up her shooting and can hold if required, but she's got great speed and can play both. So we've seen that. She's really mixed it up, and that's been unpredictable for the defenders to come up against.
Yeah. And down this end, the Manly defenders are struggling with Asquith a little bit of the height, and she's getting the shots in, so she's putting them under a bit of pressure because Donohue's moved back into the circle from wing defence to goal defence. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes against DeVivo.
37-23, the Sapphires lead the Heart. Just under 6 minutes before the final break in this championship quarter. Why do they call it that, Sonia?
No one knows why. It's because you've had the longest break at half time, so you should be technically fresher.
There we go.
So everyone comes out with a bit more energy.
But a bit more insight rather than the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. First quarter's settling in. Second quarter's trying to stamp your authority on the game.
Ball sails over the top of the Central Coast players. And out the sideline, Manly with the throw-in. Singleton to Mann. Nice cut and drive.
Yeah, that was a great dodge at the top of the circle by Little. Her movement is very good, so Stanley's going to have to cut that off. because she seems to be the main feeder in for the Manly team.
38-23, the Heart with an opportunity here. DeVivo back to Evans, going up over the top, little hand. Smart from Central Coast, so there's no replay. DeVivo very confident on the shot, but again, Sapphires are the ones underneath the post ready for the rebounds.
Great boxing out and rebounding. And DeVivo's taking these long shots, which I think she's 50-50 at the moment, so maybe she should look to pass it off to Asquith and look for those shoot the balls more often.
On the run, the Sapphires, they're far too hard to beat.
Yeah, Stanfield's done a great job at goal attack. And great step on and timing from that attack end.
Nice work from Jackson. She wins the ball for Coast.
Yeah, good rebound. See if they get this ball out.
Stansfield pulled up for contact there, so O'Mara's free to roam. Oh, Jackson takes the penalty. Oh, and unfortunately, just a little mistake.
Yeah, just not seeing the arms, and I guess as O'Mara's getting a bit fatigued, she just needs to make sure she's placing that ball out, especially once they do all that work to get the ball in possession. So you see the Sapphires attacking, they're beginning to play very confidently and with a bit more flow, so they're actually stepping on in with the wing attack and centre, and the movement's more free, so they're building in confidence. You can see as the way they're playing.
Again, rocking back, Sonia.
Yeah, she's a step back. So she knows, obviously, she's the smallest one in the circle, so she's smart enough to know that she has to step back to see the post to get the shot up.
Evans has to go back to the defenders for the centre pass. That's never a good idea.
Yeah, great defensive wall from the Sapphires defenders and building pressure. So they're just forcing Central Coast Heart up the court.
Poor Miller Evans, that's the second ball she's copped to the head tonight. Asquith outside the circle, comes back to Kessler, and they go long to the pocket. Yeah. Evans looking to feed, 1-2 with DeVivo. And this time it goes through, Sonia.
Yeah, good shot by DeVivo. Fiddler tried to jump it, but was unsuccessful.
16 the difference, 40-24. Sapphires lead the Heart. We've got 2.5 before the final break.
Yeah, Hart are going back into chase mode a little bit defensively with Evans and Stanston, so they just need to settle and not chase.
Asquith coming out for the ball.
Great tip by Singleton. Oh. Unlucky, unable to settle and get the ball out.
Another turnover. DeVivo to Asquith.
Yeah, unlucky on the contact there. Fiddler had gone out hunting, so which exposed the front space to Asquith. And she puts the shot away.
Should mention also before that Georgia Singleton came on into that wing defence, but it meant that Donahue was pushed into the goal defence. So we've seen a change in their defensive circle. All seems to be working like clockwork though, because we really notice it.
Yeah, they were just well drilled defensively of the defence of the centre pass setups. You can see what there's always a... Oh.
Nice hands from Kessler, sees possession stay with Hart. Pop out the side. Good timing from DeVivo.
Yeah, the two defenders, Donahue and Fiddler, just got stuck on Asquith. And so no one covered DeVivo on that little pop drive on the baseline.
Driving forward, Stansfield now heads to man. Circle edge. Oh, mix up between the shooters.
Yeah, but you can see how easily Stansfield's getting into the circle. There's no pressure, so they're dropping back on the double on Bidoff and allowing Stansfield to roam. And I think that's the deceiving problem with small goal attacks, is the goal defence feel that they drop back, and then because they're good on the shot, it just leaves them to have a free shot and no pressure on them. So I think the Central Coast defenders are going to have to definitely go one-on-one and cause the pressure.
Could they even double up and then...
Yeah, they just need to pick up Stansfield a lot earlier. A miss by DeVivo and rebound by Fiddler. So see the way Amara's just turned and dropped back, which is allowing Stansfield to play. She's just played free balls in that attacking third and the feeder, but unlucky to get the pass off.
Ball won by Nikita Jackson, so
yeah,
vision this time comes off. Again, hitting the arms of Manly Sapphires. So those hands over the ball have been drilled into them, and it's come off a lot of tonight. I've seen them pick up the ball many times through that.
No goal, but it was a good shot by Stansford anyway.
Sapphires lead the Heart 42-26. So what's that, a 16-goal difference?
Yeah, Central Coast came out really hard in the first, I think, 5 to 8 minutes, and then just sent, I think, Sapphires then put the foot down and pushed out again. So Sapphires be sitting comfortably just because of the fact that they've made subs and changes, and they were able to kind of hold the score and hold the gap.
I know you never really take it off, but just put that coaching hat back on for a second. And what would you be saying to these Central Coast Heart girls at this stage of the game where they're sort of down by a lot and you want them to keep their heads up?
Yeah, I would tell them to they go back on defence. I would allow the Sapphires to take that front ball, but then for the defenders to then step up and push them and keep them off the circle edge. I think right now the Central Coast defenders are dropping back to the top of the circle, and because Sapphire are playing quick 1-2s, they're getting caught out, and there's no pressure on them at all. So Central Coast would definitely have to up that pressure by staying up on court.
Just checking out some of the other scores on the other court. So the GWS Fury are leading the Stingrays 43-21. UTS St George Sparks 52 over North Shore United 17. And up on that back court, the Hawks lead the Panthers 48-33. So some of those have blown out a little bit, Sonia.
Yeah, similar to here, so it's quite interesting. It's actually a good test to see where everybody's at the first round. So a lot of the teams will be sitting comfortably and confident, especially the UTS Sparks who've gone out to 52. And a lot of the other teams are going to have to a lot of work and look and analyse. And I know there has been a lot of movement in the off-season for players. A lot of teams have got new players and restructuring. So I guess the teams that have got the core players would be doing more successful right now come round one.
All right, we're just waiting for the players to come back out on court. Are we expecting any changes, especially to the Sapphires side?
Yeah, well, I saw the Sapphires. I saw Emily Wise warming up, who's goalkeeper, goal defence. So it'll be interesting if they put her on. I think at this score blow, it'd be good to get most of the team on now and get all of them to get a touch of the core. And I guess that those little nerves that they have floating around in the butterflies, get them all out there, especially with a lead like this.
That's a good point, because if they don't play this round, the next round is almost like their first game.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Even just getting them on in the final quarter makes a difference, you think?
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, like you said, look at the score line. They're out comfortably, so it's an opportunity to get your players on and see what they can do and stuff to work, because you've always got to be building.
So we can see some supporters here sticking out the cold.
Yeah, look like Central Coast supporters are there. I can see Laura Rogers from the A&L team's mum's here down to watch, because she'll be taking the court for half or a third today.
And Bella DeVivo's family are just in front next to each other. Her mum in the white jacket.
Yeah,
must
glad
be
to see
big
everybody's
netball
looking,
fans.
everyone's looking happy and warm.
Yeah. It does get very cold here at the Geneva Netball Centre for those back home.
Yeah, there's the hot drinks.
Amara's rocking a towel on top of her head. Never seen that cool down someone before, but whatever works. She just pulled it off.
The defenders are doing a lot of work in there, and they're getting some turnover. Just need to consolidate and take control of the ball when they're bringing it back out.
Okay, here we go. Final 15 minutes. Sapphires lead by 16, 42-26. Be interesting to see if Central Coast Heart come out and fight for this final period of play. So Liza Hands coming back on in goal defence.
They've got new goal shooter in Davidson, going to go shoot her. So Ellie and Asquith has gone out to goal attack. So it'll be interesting to see how she moves out in the goal attack position for the Central Coast Heart. And they've brought back on goal defence, Eliza Hands. Oh, and a new goalkeeper as well. That's Samantha Chicken.
It's a good question.
Nobody knows.
So it must be Samantha Chicken,
Oh,
because all their other defenders are on court.
great shot by Ellie Davison. She looked a bit unsturdy on the shot, but it went in, so that's always a good start.
There's also been a change for the Sapphires in their gold offensive bib.
Yes, they brought on Emily Wise, and also Georgia Singleton's moved to centre, so let's see how she does. She's gone from wing defence to centre, so good to see how she feeds this ball.
That's pushed man into her wing defensive bib too. All right, I think that's all the changes. Singleton looking to feed. The ball's overcooked, but they're able to keep it in play. And under the post is a bit of a tussle. Hand and Bidoff. Bidoff gets the last laugh with the shot, 43-27. Brooklyn O'Mara has also moved into centre, out from
oh, yes, she
goal
has.
Defense. So many changes.
You do not see her go to fence moving to centre quite often. And we'll see how she goes. She's been struggling a lot with the feeds, bringing it out of defence, so it's interesting how she feeds as a mid-court defender.
Pretty versatile to be able to play defence and mid-court like that.
Yeah, well, let's see how well she goes at it.
Hand to O'Mara.
To Standen. Into Taylor. No one's coming. Asquith's coming up.
So we can see the new shooter that's on was calling for it, but I think it was far too early. She's underestimating the power of Charlie Fiddler and her ability to read the game.
So great defensive pressure from Central Court Hart. A bit of a step on from Mann, which lost her the pass.
Hand to Taylor. Outside Davidson. They almost lose the ball, but they regather. And now Asquith.
Yeah, Emily Wise just getting caught in the back of Asquith. So she's just going to have to get her feet moving and move around and find a better body angle onto the pass.
It's a really good height match-up between Wise and Asquith too. They're pretty level. Okay, at the top of the circle, Singleton. Finds Stansfield. Clipped by hand as she comes through. And Bidoff has the smarts to just take 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Become an option for the shot.
And over the top of the new goalkeeper for Central Coast, which I'm assuming is Samantha Chicken, so I'm going to call her that all game because she's got on O'Mara's dress. So I'm assuming there's not 2 of them. Good attempt by Emily Wise.
Oh, nice work.
And good vision. And good shot. Bidoff uses that front pop very nicely. Her timing onto it is good, and the leg split to get closer to the post. Very smart attacking player.
One of the differences between the 2 shooting ends has been accuracy too, we must say. So the Sapphires have looked comfortable and haven't missed much at all tonight.
Yeah, and I think Central Coast Heart are definitely oh, what a great feed by Taylor to see Asquith drive through the middle of their defenders.
Rocket pass, that was very Kim Green-like.
Oh, and just as good at the other end by Little.
Anything you can do, I can do better,
yeah.
hey? 1 for 1, great
and Little's
feeding.
been consistent in her pass, and her movement and attack onto the circle edge has been very good. Her vision and pass, very accurate.
O'Mara to Taylor, finding Asquith, top of the circle. Oh, could have had all the glory, but is there going to be... No, it's a throw-in, okay. So Davidson looking to get the ball back inside that circle. She's popped out the side. O'Mara.
It's a good defensive pressure from the Sapphires.
Feeding into Asquith, and I like that from Davidson, still letting her know she's an option even though she was comfortable and ready to take the shot.
Yeah, and it's interesting watching Asquith's movement as a goal attack. She moves very well and her timing's good, and she's got good vision and change of direction, so it's working for Central Coast. Let's hope they can nip back some scores.
Strong hold over the top from Chicken. Just a little too close. 47-31. I really hope that's her name. Sorry if it's not.
I hope it is her name too. Good hands by Mann, forces Taylor to go back. Chased down by Little, but I think she touched it anyway, so I think she was holding off.
With the throw in now. Standen to Taylor. Davidson is dead keen on getting that ball.
Yeah, great drive by Taylor to cause the contact. And great ball into Davison.
She finds the ball in the middle of the 2 defenders.
Yeah,
Davison
Davison
through.
Yeah, she has a very different kind of shot where it seems a bit more basketball-like in the movement that she does. She does like a little double pump on her shot, and it starts actually quite low to get high. But it's working for her because she's getting them in.
We've seen people like Gretel Tippett come from basketball to netball and change the game that way. We see so many layups and that sort of thing. Even the layup pass into Ramilda Aiken a lot now for the Firebirds.
Yeah, which is good. And I think Sam Wallace did it for the Swifts on the weekend as well.
Oh, did she? There you go. Got a lot of flair, Sam Wallace.
Yeah, she's having a great start to the season. Both accuracy and confidence. Good pick up by Fiddler and Mann. Step on by Mann.
Oh, nice work. So Bidoff comes out to throw off the defenders, and Stanfield.
Yeah, great vision by Little again. Good defensive pressure by Hands. Oh, bit of body as well, but obviously not called by the umpire.
No, I've just picked up on this, Sonia, and this might be a bit of a dad joke, but you've also got you've got Chicken and Little inside the same goal third. Do you know that movie, Chicken Little?
Yes, I do. That even crossed my mind.
All right, Stanfield.
Yeah, Sapphires are bringing the ball through the midcourt very easy, so Central Coast are definitely going to have to up that pressure through their midcourt defence. Great touch by Chicken to Bidoff. So she gets that in. Yes, she does. Bidoff has been very consistent for Sapphires this game, which is definitely good to see.
Sapphires hit 50. They're now up by 18. So we head towards the back end of this game. Oh, how's the confidence from Davidson? Love it. Even though she missed the shot.
Yeah, good outlet pass from Sapphires to bring it down court to Little. Good long vision and good hold and timing onto the ball by Bidoff. She's definitely going to be one to watch in the future.
We're going to see a swap here. So coming back on is Caitlin Brady into goal defence. Swapping with Emily Wise. Mann over the top, Little on the edge.
Oh, just misread the movement of Bidoff. So unexpected bad pass from Little. She's been doing so well all game.
Oh, a bit of a step.
Bit of a step and a carry there. Right, Central Coast are going to want in the last 6 minutes and wanting to close this gap a little bit. So I guess they're going to have to just try and work harder for the last 6 minutes, see if they can close this gap and cause Sapphire into more mistakes.
Stansfield to Mann. They're still trying to push into this goal third. Stuck in the midcourt.
Bidoff out the circle.
Has to come out and help out. Coming back now. Rocket pass in for the feed. And Bidoff rocks back. Misses the shot.
But she'll get it again for a penalty.
Central Coast hungry for the ball. 52-32 the difference, now 20. This is the biggest lead that Manly have had all game. Nice work.
Well read by Fiddler. That wasn't on by Taylor. So she's looking long now, so they're getting a bit desperate in what they're doing.
Over the back.
Oh, great touch and intercept by Chicken and follow up. Good girl. Oh, and wasted by a karate chop by Little.
You're still thinking about that joke, aren't you?
I am a little bit.
Nicely won by Chicken. So she's come on and taken a while to get into the groove of things, but is definitely reading the game very well now. Hands back to Taylor. They're just going to have to keep passing between those two unless an option comes back, and it does. Nice work, O'Mara feeding into Asquith.
And good finish by Asquith.
5 minutes to play in round one of Premier League in 2019.
Great hold by Bidoff at the top of the circle. She put a little screen on the goalkeeper. Good timing to drive onto the ball.
Score update. The Hawks lead the Panthers 59-40 up on court 4. Sparks leading United 65-20, so that's 45 goals now. It's a really big difference. And Fury 48 over the Stingrays 26. Taylor to Davidson. Again, dead keen on being a part of this Central Coast side.
Yeah, good defensive pressure now that Brody's back on with Fiddler, which is forcing the tall shooters of Asquith and Davidson to pass the ball around a little bit more.
O'Mara with the fake. Give and go with Davidson. 1-2.
Oh, good
Asquith
rebound.
there to collect up the crumbs. Makes it 34 for the Heart. Look at the speed and the
Yes,
footwork.
good movement. I think Little's been a great player for the Sapphires in her feeds and her assists, and the way she moves the ball so quick, she's got great vision into the circle. So turnover for Sapphires, forcing the Heart into an error.
Mann calling for it on her own. Finds Little. They're going to swing the circle. Singleton trying to feed. She finds Stansfield. And she won't miss from long range.
Yeah,
she's been getting them from everywhere tonight.
Yeah, and I think she's been comfortable in the fact that she's able to do a little shuffle pass to get closer to the post.
That was a good little play off the centre pass. Clearly planned, with Stanfield just rocking behind.
Good shooter pass from Bidoff. And good finish by Stansfield.
There's been no hesitation about the way Manly play. Very confident in their ability.
Yeah, and they're letting the ball, they've got good vision and sight, and they're definitely creating space for themselves in attack. The defensive pressure has been consistent across the 4 quarters, so it's definitely put a lot of pressure on Central Coast Heart, and there you see it again.
Foot race on sees Caitlin Brady pick up the ball with an opportunity for the Sapphires. Coming back to the transverse line now. Edging in, Bidoff.
And finishes.
With another lovely shot, 57-34. And we've just got over 2 minutes with the Manly centre. Graceful in the air, Stansfield. Now she offloads to Bidoff. And through the hands of Chicken, she will score the shot.
Great pass and great entry into the circle by the Sapphires. Let's see if Central Coast can replicate.
Oh, lovely work by
Georgia Singleton. Oh.
I was going to call her a sister's name then. Had to second guess myself. Up and over in the air. She's great. Bidoff wins the contest.
And another good feed in by Little. She's got great vision. Looks in, looks long. I think what's working for Little as well is the fact that Bidoff holds her player for long. She's got a great hold, waiting for the ball to go past the head before it drops in. And it's interesting because you'd think Manly would be easing off the pressure and actually stepping it up. So now they're going for quick goals. So I'm assuming they were going to try and make 60, which is what they've done.
Yes, the Sapphires have hit 60 now.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big milestone for them.
And another turnover by Fiddler.
A minute to play.
Long ball out, well intercepted and well read.
One by O'Mara. Can Central Coast score and convert? Missed shot.
Yeah, just a bit quick on her shot, Davidson. So just needs to settle. She's got plenty of time.
Using the edge. Ball sails over the back line, and it's a wasted opportunity for Central Coast.
Yeah.
So Sapphires with a chance to come back and add another. It's got to go all the way up the court. Fiddler over the top to Bradley. Singleton holds her nerve, enter the ball.
So you can see the way Bidler. Oh, good pressure. That was a quick 3 seconds.
22 seconds left. Stanton finds O'Mara.
Where was that ball movement for the whole last 55?
The urgency comes.
Yeah, well to finish for them. Well done. Let's see what these guys do in 5 seconds. No, gone. In. Ah.
Nice defensive pressure from Chicken. Limits the Manly Sapphires. And they've finished the game 60-35. A big win to start off round 1, Sonia.
Yeah, great start for the Manly Sapphires, and I think it was a great defensive effort from their team, and it started off from the beginning of the game, the first quarter, and good attacking, ball movement.
So when we look at the score, 15-9 at quarter time, Sapphires way. Then it went 29-17, a difference of 12, 42-26, and now 60-35, 25 goals difference. So holding that dominance throughout the full game.
Yeah, so they're definitely ones to watch moving forward.
All right, well, we're going to grab a player, and we'll see you in front of the camera shortly.
Bad headache.
Well, the Manly Warringah Sapphires has started their 2019 campaign with a big win today by 25 goals. Hayley Bidoff, who was the shooter for them and Sonia's player of the match, I believe, is joining us now in front of the camera. Hayley, you must be happy with that win to start off the season.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked. It's a big win for us. We've been working really hard, strength and conditioning and driving up and back the court. Our defence was really good as well, so really proud of the girls.
Yeah, it was definitely a good team defence.
Yeah.
But for yourself, we played goal attack. So
Yes.
what was it like being back at goal shooter?
It was pretty hard against the goalkeeper. I know she has a really good elevation, but we worked hard with the front holds, lots of rolls. So yeah, we pulled those really good.
We told at half-time the story about how you guys went down to Canberra during the pre-season and you went and saw the dawn service and you
Yeah,
had
it was amazing.
a bit of a bonding session down there.
Yeah, it
was
was
that
good.
3-day camp like a good
Yeah, it was
opportunity
really
for you
good.
guys?
Yeah, we came together as a team. I feel we really bonded. So we went to AIS. We did some swimming, did some court work.
Isn't that cold out there?
It was good. No, it was heaps of fun. So yeah, really happy for the girls.
All right, for round one, Manly Warringah Sapphires victorious over the Central Coast Heart by 25 goals. That's it for the under-23s game. Coming up next on the show court, right behind us, Central Coast Heart and the Manly Warringah Sapphires in the Opens. Stay tuned for that.